Hey everyone, it's Michael, and today I'm going to be talking about my book haul for Goosebumps of this week. Of course, it's still May. We're about to start working our way into June. This is Memorial Day weekend, so have a happy Memorial Day. Please don't forget to thank a soldier, whether it be your grandfather or a complete stranger that you see that happens to have one of those soldier caps on, like a Vietnam veteran or any of those folks. You know, God bless those folks. They fought so that you and I can even be here to talk about Goosebumps and whatnot. These people like myself could never be in the military and could never do the kind of duties these folks have done, like my grandfather did. Again, God bless the soldiers. We need them. Anyway. So this particular video, I guess you could say, is dedicated to the soldiers. If there are any soldiers out there who care about Goosebumps as a channel or anything like that. But still, I have 4 books that I got this week. I got none of them at an antique shop. I called around and I actually visited a couple of antique shops this week. I didn't see anything, you know, and I'm kind of starting to lean my way towards... I actually saw another Goosebumps YouTuber, well, he used to be. He's more of a creepypasta narrator nowadays. His name is Zach Baby TV. I saw a video of his from a couple of years ago recently. Like this last week I watched a video of his. And I already knew who he was before this week, but I watched one of his videos and he was talking about how some of his friends from like Australia, like one of the other Goosebumps YouTubers I watch, GoosebumpsFan, apparently has a lot more luck finding Goosebumps books out at like antique shops and thrift stores. Well, here in the US, at least my part of the US, there really aren't many thrift stores or used bookstores for that matter. You will not find a Goosebumps book in a used bookstore around here. It's just the case. They might be able to special order one for you, but you'll never get your hands on one directly from these folks used. Yeah, it's just like that. But anyway, with the antique shops, you're kind of on your own. The way the antique shops are where I live, I don't know about in most places, but where I live, it's more of the sense of you have to go compartment to compartment. It's basically people who go in here and want to sell their own stuff. They rent out a tiny little space, smaller than my room, like half the size of my room, if not like a fourth of my room, which is what I record in. This is my room that I'm in right now, for anybody who doesn't know that. I don't know if I've ever talked about that, but yeah, that's what this is. And it's like a fourth of this room, and you just pile up your stuff in there and try to sell it. That's pretty much how all the antique stores are here. It's not like just one owner who sells their own stuff. It doesn't seem like that here. The closest we come to that where I live is a pawn shop, or the pawn shops that we have, which are plentiful around here. But anyway, getting to the books themselves, I'm not finding stuff around here very often, just like Zach Baby TV talked about. I'm kind of leaning towards just buying stuff off of Amazon and getting that in the mail and eBay and all those things. Because it's the best way for me to get my hands on it. For example, there's a book from the Series 2000 collection era, whatever you want to call it, that I have never heard of until like this week when I was trying to organize my list of what I need for Goosebumps books. And I found this one. I think the title was something like The Curse of the Black Ring or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but the cover looked awesome. The thing is, this book already at its cheapest, lowest price for a used copy was like $10, not including the shipping and all that. So I was like, okay, well this is probably going to be one of the more pricey ones because most of the Goosebumps books that I see and most of the ones that I buy that are used off of Amazon are typically like $1, maybe $2, maybe $5 at the most, and then the shipping included. This is $10 on the dot, so it took $15 basically just to get this book, but I realized it was smart for me to go ahead and just do that. So I got it, thank God. Hopefully it'll get here safely, hopefully it'll be in good condition. I always go for very good. I don't go for good or acceptable or anything like that on the listings for the quality of the book. So very good is the condition it's supposed to be coming in. I've had some books that have said they were coming in very good, like the Star Wars Jedi Apprentice books that I've been buying, and one of them came in with stickers all over it. It was an ex-library copy, and that pissed me off to no end. But getting to the actual Goosebumps books this week, I'm sorry for all the rambling. I just thought I'd make this a little bit of a more personable video, kind of tell you guys more about how I'm thinking about going more for the digital side of things. So I might possibly be able to average 2 or 3 books a week, maybe, depending on the price and what I'm looking at. You never know. But anyway, guys, starting off with a series that I kind of started last week. I talked about this a little bit more in my previous book haul video from last week. I've wanted to get all the Hall of Horrors books, and I told you guys too that the rest were coming in the mail. They all showed up this week, so now I have all 6, I believe. 6, I think is what there was, of the Hall of Horror books. The second one in the series is called Night of the Giant Everything. I'm afraid of bugs. This has got a giant spider on the front, so we'll see how that goes when I read that. I'm curious, I don't think I've read many of the R.L. Stine Goosebumps books. Well, all of them are R.L. Stine, but I don't think I've read any of the Goosebumps books that have to do with giant creatures, like giant spiders and stuff like that. So that might be a new experience. I might get to see something that he does that I didn't know he could do, or something that might terrify me more of bugs. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm terrified of bugs, man. I hate bugs. This is the time of the year where you have these giant mutated spider cricket things that jump around all over my fiance's apartment when I go to visit her. Ugh, I hate those things. Anyway, book number 4 is one that I'm really excited for. I'm a little surprised by the cover of this, so be ready for the gruesomeness. Number 4 of the Hall of Horror series is Why I Quit Zombie School. Yeah, this fella's eyeball got squished out of his head. Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, cool. There was a Give Yourself Goosebumps book, I believe, is what it was from that one series. It was either that or Series 2000. I'm pretty sure it's Give Yourself Goosebumps. That was called Zombie School. So I was kind of surprised and impressed with that. I kind of wonder whether that's going to be like tying into this or vice versa, or I'm curious. This is the next to last book in the Hall of Horror series, which officially completes my collection of the Hall of Horror franchise. I'm really excited about that. This is book number 5 called Don't Scream. I'm very curious about what this is. I typically, for anybody who doesn't know this, I'm just a straight up collector for Goosebumps now. When I go to start a Goosebumps book, I don't typically read the back. I almost always, as wrong as this sounds, I almost always judge the books by their covers, and I'll pick out the one that feels like I might like it more right now. I know a lot of people are against that. A lot of people are like, just read them in order, like number 1 through 62 of the original series. I don't want to do that, because then you know what's coming out next, and I might not be interested. And life's too short. You never know if you're going to have like 5 books in a row that are going to be bad. Why don't you just read the ones that you want to read? That's one reason I'm having trouble with the Horrorland series, and we'll get there when we talk about that in the review I'm doing tonight after this video. But, yeah. I'm really excited for this. I'm planning on reading the Hall of Horror series in order. God willing that I'm alive and able to make it through all of those. I'm planning on doing that, mainly because I really, really, really want to see what the difference is with Hall of Horrors. I've never read any of those at this particular moment, so I don't know how different they are compared to like Horrorland and the classic series and Series 2000. I'm really interested. Are they darker? Like, there's things like that cover for Zombie School that I'm a little surprised, but there's gore there. An eyeball right out of the socket. Yeah, can you imagine if they would have done that in the old Goosebumps TV series? We were all, anybody who watched it was traumatized by it when they were kids, most of the episodes at least. Can you imagine what that would have been like to see that in the 90s on one of the book covers or something? Even some of the covers to this day scare me. Like You Can't Scare Me, one of the later books in the old 62 classic series from the 90s. That cover scares me. I don't know what it is about that creature. I don't even know what that creature's made out of or what it is or anything. But it scares me and it's gross. The last book that I got is not so much a Goosebumps book, but it is tied into it, and I do plan on reading this and reviewing it here on the channel because it means a lot to me. I wish I could have the companion book. Oh my god, I wish. And I'll explain more about that in a moment. But It Came From Ohio, My Life as a Writer by R.L. Stine. This is not a super long book. From what I understand, I believe that people said this is not a non-fiction account of R.L. Stine's life. It's kind of supposedly a blend of fiction and non-fiction. Some real things that happened to him and inspirations for characters from the Goosebumps franchise, which are all over the cover, as you can tell. I'm curious about whether he'll talk very much about Fear Street or anything like that. But from what I remember hearing, I don't think this was a true account of his life. I could be wrong, but I believe that that's what I heard somewhere. But yeah, you have such a cool cover here. You have the Mummy, the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. You have the Scarecrow that walks at midnight. You have Slappy, the Haunted Mask. That poodle thing from the Give Yourself Goosebumps books that's also in the Goosebumps film, the first one. And then you have a lawn gnome, and then R.L. Stine's little head with the mole right here in the middle of the page. That's really cool artwork. I love this. It's probably one of my favorite of the re-releases. And yeah, this is a reissue copy. But man, I would love to have the companion book. For anybody who doesn't know what the companion book is, I think I understand why they did not release that book again. It was called My Life as an Artist, I believe is what it was called. It was about Tim Jacobus, who was the person who did pretty much every single one of the original 62 classic Goosebumps covers. I believe these two books came out around the same time that the original classic Goosebumps 62 book series was coming out. I believe that. I could be wrong, but I believe that from what I've heard. And that book... Now, maybe you'll get blessed and find it somewhere on eBay. I don't know. I typically go with Amazon, just because I have an Amazon. I don't have an eBay. I just kind of browse eBay every once in a while as an anonymous viewer. I don't know, I just do. If I had to get one, then I would get one, if it would help my collection. But typically everything that I want is on Amazon, so I don't really need it. eBay, right? No, Amazon, right? I was looking at Amazon, and I found that book, My Life as an Artist, which I didn't even know it existed until I saw Zach Baby TV talking about it here on YouTube. I keep mentioning him today, but that's the truth. And they want, at the very cheapest for a used copy, it's like $230. I love you guys as a channel, but that ain't happening. Ain't happening. Not for a used book, it ain't happening. It ain't happening for a new book either. You'd be crazy to spend $230 on a book like that. I want to read the book drastically just to see what Tim Jacobus says about the original books and maybe what he has as input with his correlation with R.L. Stine, the creator of the series. I would love to know what they talked about, how they communicated. I don't think that book is as long as the It Came From Ohio book. Or no, his book is called It Came From New Jersey, My Life as an Artist. That's what it was. I'm sorry, I got the title mixed up. Yeah, his is New Jersey. This one for R.L. Stine is Ohio. But I really want to read the book, and I'm never going to find a copy of it, so we can all just kind of kiss that goodbye unless they magically do a reissue. The reason I think they did not do a reissue / re-release for that book is because they've replaced Tim Jacobus nowadays with a new artist for these newer re-releases and stuff, which is a shame, but they did it, so what do you do? They haven't really published anything from Tim Jacobus' original artwork since like 2006, I think, when they did the first big relaunch. Yeah, it's a shame for him, because I like his artwork. I think it's some of the best of Goosebumps, period. I don't know if he did the Series 2000 art. I don't think he did. It doesn't look like his style, but maybe it is. I don't know. But even so, folks, what did you think about the 4 books that I picked up today, or this week, for my Goosebumps collection? And like I said, I will be reviewing It Came From Ohio because it is R.L. Stine. He is the creator of Goosebumps. I can do this as a random review. Everybody I talk to who collects Goosebumps anyway has this book, and they talk about it, so why not? It'd be cool for like a random... I have a playlist here on my channel called Random Goosebumps Book Reviews, just for random stuff you find out there, like the Slappy's Revenge movie book, or like the Haunted Halloween, you know, little side book things. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a little bit easier to organize it that way for you folks. Or like if I get around to reviewing the movie novels at some point, the novelizations of those films that came out for Goosebumps, I would talk about those and probably put them in that category, just because. But what do you guys think about these books? Did you have anything cool to say about them? Did you read the Tim Jacobus My Life as an Artist? It Came From New Jersey, whatever it was called. What did you guys think about those? What did you think about the Hall of Horror series? I've heard some good things so far from different people like Mr. X, who comments on my videos every once in a while. By the way, thank you, Mr. X. I really appreciate how you enjoy watching the videos. He always comments. He's always super friendly. He's a cool guy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today. Happy Memorial Day, folks. Again, thank a soldier. Thank a soldier. God bless you. Goodbye.